Okay, this is easy too, tips and tricks, etc., for home improvement, DIY, vids, how-to vids. Come to this channel, subscribe, mark it, refer back. Alright, this is 320, alright? I'm wanting to not make it quite 600. And I feel this, there's a little bit of texture, little dimples, alright? Spit, spatters from the spray. I'm going to just knock it off and just smooth it out. It is smooth, okay? So this is how we do that. You just take your 320, just rub it against each other, okay? You want to grab it where you're holding it, turn, and get the areas all covered. Alright, you knock down the roughness of the start. Now, listen to this. Alright, that's been smoothed out. Now I'm going to get another piece of 320, and I'm going to show you the difference between the two and why you want to do that. Alright, brand new 320. Alright, getting it. Alright, now I'm going to show you the difference. Okay? Listen to this. Alright? Now, listen to this. Smoother. Much, much rougher. Alright? Now, this is the 600. The 600, and it's used. Alright? You can hear the sound, how light that sound is. And it's not because I'm lightly pressing. That's just, and I'm pressing. That's because it's like more like 800 probably at this point. So, this is the 320, and you can even see the difference in the colors. Alright, this one's a little lighter. This one's a little darker. Darker, a little lighter. By degrees. Alright, 320 that's been untouched. 320 that we've knocked down the roughness. Alright, so again, here, this one, you can tell the sound here. Look, as I rub these together, you'll hear the difference. Much more rough. A louder sound, right? Now, these that have already been taken down. Alright, now, then we have this. This is like about a about 400 here. Alright, the sanding pad. Alright. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over it with this. Okay. You can get the inner edge here. Now, like I've said, if you do the back side of your door the same as you're doing the front side, it's going to come out perfect. And why do I say that? What's it matter? Nobody sees the back side of the door but you. Or if you sell the house, the person that buys it after you. But point being is, if you take the care to do the back side of your door, the unseen part, no matter what you're doing, if you take the care and the time to make that nice, everything you do is going to be nice. Instead of make a little mistake, oh well, you know, make another little mistake, oh well. And pretty soon when you're done with that project, you've got a bang here, a scratch there, an imperfection over here, you know, a paint splatter over there, I mean, you got all these unnecessary things going on, and you end up frustrated with it, and the end results are, it's okay, when you know you could have done a better job. Now, for the teenager, for the young man that's maybe in his 20s that hasn't really been taught this, this makes a big difference. And if you're on the job and your employer sees you caring about the unseen details, you're going to get moved up on the job. Now, after going over this, okay, can you see this is turning white, the polyurethane? I'm going to see what you can see right here. Yeah, right, you can see the whiteness. There isn't any there. You've got it there, all right? So, but I still feel it's some spatter. It's smooth. It's not rough, but I want to take that spatter down a little more, all right? I want to knock it down, so I'm going to lightly press, and you can hear it, all right? You can hear the little lumps and bumps that I'm going over. All right? So, now the beauty of polyurethane, this is not common knowledge. You can now listen to this. You can hear all the little spatters, all little bumps that you can't see. Listen again. All right. Now this feels much, much smoother. So the high points, I feel them, but they're really smooth. This is smoothing it out. Now, a lot of painters, stainers would have just left this. But we're talking, you want to do high-end work, and you want to step up your game, and you want your work to be just top-notch. You got to go the extra mile. You got to do what nobody else is willing to do, or only the few are willing to do. All right? You take the time, as I say periodically, you take the time to do it right. You know, no matter what you're doing, rebuilding a motor, painting a house, it's the back side of the house, it's up in the corner, it's on the second story, it's under the eave, nobody's going to see it, and it's a hard spot to get into. You do what it takes to get that right. Okay, now I'm going to take this, I'm going to fold it so I can get right into that corner right here, carefully, just like when I was removing the stain. Okay. And like I said, the end results are it's going to improve your skill level. You're going to start noticing things and catching things you would have never noticed before. And you're going to be, if you continue in that mindset, you're going to continue to improve and improve, and you'll be doing high-end, top-notch work that can make you money and keep you working. And so people will hire you gladly. So take the time to do it right. All right, now I've got them just finished sanding. I'm going to go over it with this real quick. Just kind of buff it. All right, kind of buff it out. Now, what most people don't know, I started to say about polyurethane. Never did complete my thought. With polyurethane, what most people don't know is that it will melt into the next layer, and you can build layers. All right, and so even though I've just sanded this, all right, and I've scuffed it up, when I spray the poly onto this, it is going to just melt right into the next layer, and you'll never ever know what I've just done. Okay, let's get this edge here, and inner edge, the inner edge here, this lip, that's what I'm referring to. Now you don't want to get this corner because you'll take the paint off of this edge here if you're not careful. That's something you want to be paying attention to. If you do, and it looks like I slightly did, I'm going to just lightly, I'm going to wipe this down. Then I'm going to put some stain on it. Very light coat of stain. I'm going to dry brush the stain on. And I'm going to blow dry. I'm going to take the, well, that did the trick. Well, I'm just going to blow it off because you don't want any dust. Okay. So now, I'm going to blow this off. And a lot of times, a lot of guys don't. But we're going to do that and then put a little stain on. All right, now, so we have this dust removed. All right, I'm just going to, there's a little bit of stain on the tips of the ends of this brush. And I see a little edge right here. I see little browns coming through. Just on that edge, and that's what I was talking about. I don't know if you can see here or not. But it's right here on this, right on the edge, right there. And that's what you want to be careful not doing. All right? Now I realized it looked like this was really heavy stain when I was putting it on. Oak is extremely coarse and hard, but coarse. All right, now I'm just going to catch this edge. All I want to do is just lightly cover, and then I can spray over the polyurethane on it. Okay. So anyways, and so it bubbles. I was asked, what do I do with the bubbles? How do I get rid of the bubbles? That becomes a pain. A good question. But it does. It becomes a pain. So what you did, you just got to keep brushing it in as it dries. Keep your tips of your bristles of your brush dampened, and you just keep brushing the bubbles as it dries. Let them form. Dampen just the tips of your bristles like I just did. Now, I haven't ever run into bubbling except for with this black. I've used maple, I've used oak, golden oak, I've used walnut, light walnut, dark walnut, cherry. I've never had it really bubble like that except with the black. And that's why I was showing this, the grain, up close and personal, when this video started as my intro, to show that there's no bubbles, the finished out. It looked like it was going on too heavy while I was staining it. And so I was showing this to show you that for those that are following this, all right, that it wasn't as heavy as it looked, and it needed to be as heavy as I was in order to get good coverage. All right. Now, I just spread out that little bit from this edge, clear out to the outer edge here, dry brushing. Otherwise, if I didn't do that, you're running a risk of showing where the paint, this dries like a paint, where the stain was applied. All right, and you'd see an edge in the stain. So then if I just smoothed it out a little bit, you're running a risk of that showing up at the end. So I just spread this completely out. Okay, I want you to see. Let's see what you're seeing. All right, I spread that completely out. See, there you go. Now, there you go. Now you can see it. That I dry brushed that, okay, all the way down. And you'll never know, if you didn't see this, that I had sanded through to the wood here on this corner that you can't really see. but I'm pointing at it. All right, you can't really see the, let me turn this around, maybe at this angle here. See my finger. Well, you can't see the edge, you can't see the wood that was showing through. But anyways, on that lip. All right, now I'm coming up here because I see I got a little light there. Now I just gotta catch it in here, and I don't have to do anything on the surface here of the door frame. All right. And so this is how you fix it. All right, I see a little bit of lightness in here. And this is all I'm doing. I'm just catching it in this edge, and it's coming up. Okay. And that way I don't have to spread it and carry it all the way over and make it all smooth. All right. And it's kind of coming up at this angle, overlapping. All right. I gotta check it here in just a second. As I'm looking at it's what I'm doing, making sure I'm not gonna have any misses. Misses for the misses. Alright, poet and don't know it. Okay, but you show it. Okay, so anyways, now I'm just kind of smoothing out here. Alright, so that doesn't show up in my finished product. Okay. Alright, now I can take this and then we're going to spray it. No further ado, let's do it. Alright, let's get her done. Now, so I don't get any overspray on this or on the other one over here, we're going to move them. Alright. Alright, now we let it dry. Okay, now, if we do a recap on what we've learned today, then polyurethane melds into itself. So you can sand it, wipe it down. You don't even necessarily have to blow it off. I did for GP. And then I sprayed. And I will show you here in a minute that, and I went over top of stain, that light coat of stain. It's oil base. So it's going to mix, it's going to blend. That's not a water-based poly I'm spraying either. You want oil for oil. This water base I'm not real familiar with. I haven't really used water base. It might be environmentally more friendly. It might be personally more friendly. The stuff can give you cancer. It can ruin your lungs. It can cause birth defects. This little mask is much better than the paper ones. On the paper masks, for example, you put on a paper mask, breathing mask, right? Dust mask. Put on a paper dust mask, you got these holes right here on the sides of your nose. Well, your mouth is covered, your cheeks are covered, and you got this hole right here at the top of your nose. Where's the dust going? Down inside. When you breathe, it just sucks it in there, right? Right at your nose. So this isn't even really pinched around my nose, but I got a really nice fit here, okay? And it works pretty good, much better. It's got these little valves inside. All right. I need to do a little research on it, but I do notice there's a difference between this and the regular ones. And it looks like this might turn, but it doesn't turn. And it's got this little cloth, you know. So I think these are pretty good, but I need to do some research on them. I should have done that before I even mentioned them. At any rate, so I've got oil-based stain. I've got an oil-based poly. It's going to last the longest, be more durable, and it's more forgiving than the water-based. But then again, there's more health risks. But I've been using this for a long time. God forbid I get cancer. God forbid. But you never know. But God forbid. So anyways. And so, yeah, the dog distracted me. So anyways, so I will show you what that's going to look like. All right. This is my medicine cabinet door. All right. This is the front side. This is the back side. And it looks as good as the front. And that's how you want to do this. Okay. I'm probably going to give this one more coat. I'm going to lightly sand it. And put another coat on it, and it should be good. So if you sand in between coats, by the time you get to your third coat, fourth coat, the surface should be smooth when you're finished. Alright, now this is the edge right here that I painted. I put the stain on, alright, that I just sprayed over the top of. Okay. And that's the edge you want to be careful with, is this corner right there, alright, when you sand. Okay, so there you have it. No lifting, no peeling, nothing. And it'll melt right in there, and it'll be perfectly fine. Alright. So, alright, so for more tips and tricks, IDY Home Improvement, mark this, bookmark this channel, subscribe to this channel. Like I say from periodically, and I put it in the comments, that if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up anytime. If it's something I'm doing, or you just have a question about something else, if I know something about it and I can help you out with it, that's what I'm here for. You know, I started this channel to make a difference, and that's my purpose, that's my goal. Here lately I haven't been getting back to the comments like I was. I've been missing some comments, and it's not intentional. I'm just busy, and trying to make these videos that I do informational. You can learn and walk away with some understanding and knowledge about what you're doing, or just brushing up because you forgot. It's been a while. And I also, often say that if you see something I'm doing, you got a better way. There's more than one way to skin a cat. And these are ways that work for me. But if you got a better way, quicker, easier, please share if you're willing. You know, it's what this is all about for me, is making it easier for the next guy that may have never done it before or doesn't have enough information, and just kind of maybe struggling, or something you're wanting to do and you're afraid to tackle it because you've never done it. Whether it's cutting tile, I have many videos on how to cut tile on a wet saw, how to use tile shims to angle your tile when cutting if you need to make an angle on a large format tile or a 12 by 12 tile. It could be applied to little 4-inch tiles. And so I have lots of videos on tile cutting, as well as I have several painting videos. I have over around 600 videos at this point. I think I have over 600 videos. I have some dog training, puppy training videos, series. I don't call them a series, but they're in a series. Then obedience training as my puppy grew. And so it just depends. Some wildlife videos. You know, you like wildlife. I've got rabbits. In my last video, if you're still listening, I'm in back here staining my doors to go live, and there's this 4.5-foot gopher snake my wife sees out in the front yard. Usually they're 1.5 2 foot, and there's these little skinny things. This dude was like fat. He was the keeper. I would have loved to kept him, but don't have an aquarium for him, you know. And it wasn't something I could run out and just go get real quick. But my wife's scared of snakes. She stepped in a den of rattlesnakes, and by God's grace, she didn't get bit, and so she's scared to death of any snake, unfortunately. But anyways, I just thought I'd share that. So my last video, my last staining video, about 15 minutes of video where I went out in the front yard and caught this snake and played with him and messed with him and showed it to the viewing audience, and it's kind of cool, you know. I'll have to separate that video, that part of the video out, and just show that video here coming up, you know, because not everybody's going to see. It's kind of hidden as the end result, you know, so I have to pull it out and just show that by itself. So anyways, just keeping it real. And, you know, I have Bible studies on this channel as well. If you have any questions about the Bible, you know, feel free. I'm just a Christian. I just believe the Bible. You know, I just Bible believer. Bible says it, I believe it. You know, call me stupid. Call it ignorance. Call me whatever you like. I don't care. You have to all stand before God, whether you think so or not. But anyways, so if you have any questions about any of my videos, feel free to ask, and that's what I'm trying to say. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, something you'd like to see, if I can do it, I can demonstrate it, we will be happy to do that as well. So, I look forward to hearing from you. I guess I've been kind of long-winded here. I haven't really done this. This is the first time I've taken the time just to sit down and just do this. But it's important to me. You know, people that come to this channel looking for information, it's important to me to be able to help that person that's wrestling with whatever it is they're trying to do. They've never done it before, whatever it may be, to be able to help them out. You know, I know what that's like. I've had my fair share of trying to get something done and wrestling with it and grappling with trying to get the information and struggling because there's not enough information out there on it. Not enough people willing to explain it. Everybody wants to make it difficult and complicated when it's not. So that you don't infringe on their job security. You know, if you want to know it, you go to school, you pay for it, you earn it, and they're not telling you nothing about it. Well, that's not me. You know, I say united we stand, and united we make it happen. Sharing knowledge, watching one another videos. You know, if you have video that I really find interesting, before it finishes, I'll play it back. I'll just tap on the cursor, pull it back, and I'll rewatch parts of that video, which gives your video a better rating and ranking here on YouTube. For more people that do that, the more rating and ranking your video gets. So if you're sharing and you're sharing information, and or something that's really cool or whatever, I'm playing it back. I'm watching it again. I'm watching parts of it again. You know, I'm gonna watch your video. It's good. You know, content. You know, I haven't mentioned that for a while on my channel. You know, I see people have this opportunity here on YouTube to really, sky's the limit. And they're just not taking it seriously enough. And you know, you wonder why YouTube plays the games they do. I don't wonder. I understand most part of it anyway. People aren't taking their channel serious enough. They're not putting out good content. You know. Do live streams where there's add value to your live stream by teaching something, explaining something, doing something of value for the watcher, for the viewing audience. It becomes timeless, and then it also becomes monetizable. You know, if you're going to do a live stream, why not make it monetizable? It's a win-win, you know? It's a bigger bang for you as an end result, and it makes it more interesting for the viewing audience. It's a win-win-win-win all the way around. And then when you become monetized, people that are advertisers that are looking for channels, you're going to have a channel that they're going to want to monetize because you've got good content. You got to plan for the future. You don't have to. But if you plan for the future and you think ahead, and you do things ahead of time, preparing for the future, then you'll be ready. You'll be ready when that opportunity comes. And so, makes the difference. It really does. Talk to those that are extremely successful. They will tell you this is how they got there. Plan for the future now. Alright, and on that note, I'm going to shut up. You might want to check out Nick Niemann. That's Nimmin. That's Niemann, Nimmin. Nick, Nickmimmin. Nick Niemann. Lots of information there. And Daryl Eves and Roberto Blake. Roberto Blake talks about making money, how to make money, how to go to different websites and make contact with the people to make money. Roberto Blake, Daryl Eves, and Nick Niemann. Nimmin. Niemann. I've asked him several questions periodically, and he's good about getting back to me. And he's a pretty big channel. One of the few big channels that have actually responded. So, I highly recommend him because of that. And he cares. And it shows. Daryl Eves, a lot of information. A lot of information. And same with Roberto Blake. So, on that note, I'm going to shut up. So never give up, because there's always a way. Always. And remember, united we stand, and united we make it happen here on YouTube. So God bless. Bye for now. We'll catch you on the rebound. Peace out. She's my baby. She's my wife. She's my babe. She's clean out of sight. Don't you know that she's some kind of wonderful? Oh yes, she is. She's some kind of wonderful. Yeah, 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 yeah. She's my baby. She's a sweet, loving woman. She's mine. She's my baby. My sweet, loving woman. She's mine. Can I get a witness? Yeah. Alright. Just wanted to give you a quick update before I ended this live stream. Share, comment, like after 60 seconds. 60 seconds plus. Then hit the like button. Bye for now.